When you think about the tools used to create significant pieces of popular culture, what comes to mind?
Well, maybe it's the piano that Elton John wrote your song on, or the paintbrushes of Jackson Pollock. But what about writers and their instruments?
Storyteller Erin Valley takes us to a new exhibit at the University of Illinois where some notable typewriters are on display.
That's right. You can go see the old typewriters of famous writers like Roger Ebert, Carl Sandburg, and even Hugh Hefner. I had the opportunity to sit down with former Playboy CEO Hugh Hefner. Here's what she had to say about the exhibit and the legacy her father created.
Typewriters are very evocative in that you can more easily, I think, picture someone sitting behind it and actually starting to create.
When Hugh Hefner pictures the creative force behind this typewriter, the person she thinks about is her father, Hugh Hefner.
Well, he was a very creative person, clearly, and I do think that he engendered in me a respect for creativity and, as a leader, the desire to create an environment where creative people could come and do their best work.
Surely a valuable lesson for someone who'd go on to lead the publication her father founded. Christy served as CEO of Playboy Enterprises for over 2 decades. Now she's taking the time to visit her father's alma mater.
I think the years here and the exposure to really smart professors and the world of ideas and reading was, I think, what first really fostered for him a set of dreams about what did he want to do with his life.
Christy's mother, Hugh's first wife and U of I college sweetheart, came with her.
My parents were newlyweds when he started Playboy magazine, and one of the ways he financed it was to mortgage our furniture. And I learned that he mortgaged it not once, but twice, which I don't think is actually legitimate, but somehow he did.
Objects from those humble beginnings are on display in the rare book and manuscript library. The typewriter Hefner used to create the first issue of Playboy is here, including the warranty he signed while he was a student, and an issue of Shaft, the college humor magazine Hefner wrote for. The Writers and Their Tools exhibit also features artifacts from 3-time Pulitzer Prize winner Carl Sandburg, legendary Chicago film critic Roger Ebert, and others. Visiting curator Ruth Ann Miller says there's something special about the old tools writers used to create.
The objects themselves sometimes aren't necessarily given the same kind of attention that a book is, especially when you're in a library, but typewriters are their own kind of timekeeper.
I think people will find them fascinating, and it's a wonderful array of writers, some of whom themselves had connections with Playboy magazine, and all of whom were connected, of course, to the university. So I think if you're a student here or faculty, it's just a part of the legacy of the institution that you're a part of. And for people who aren't connected directly to the University of Illinois, I just think it's really cool to be able to see these artifacts.
If you'd like to check out Writers and Their Tools, the exhibit is on display at the University of Illinois Main Library now through August.
Whoa.
Illinois has a lot of people who've dramatically impacted media, specifically Ebert, you mentioned, and Hefner and Susie Orman, and there's a long list of people who've gone here, and that's really cool.
I know, a lot of writers. It was surprising to me just how many people. And what was great, there's this letter that Roger Ebert wrote to his professor who mentored him throughout his career, and it was so sweet. And I was like, this university really impacted these famous people.
Yeah.
I've got to admit, I don't think of Hugh Hefner as a writer, though. Like the typewriter.
Yeah. Well, you know, actually, there was one of his screenplays that he'd written. So even though you don't picture him as a writer, he very much was so.
Something new every day.
Well, I didn't know you could mortgage your furniture.
May have to try that right after the show's over. Thanks,
Hey,
Erin.
if you've got a story idea for Erin, she's looking for your ideas. You can hit her up via email, Facebook, or Twitter.
She's everywhere.
Yep.